Hi, I'm Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the single most effective way that you can get into a flow state and stay into a flow state much longer. And you can actually spend almost all of your time in a flow state if you understand this one concept. So just to give a little bit of background, flow is the psychological state of mind where you're fully absorbed in what you're doing. You're completely absorbed, you're fully engaged, you're 100% there. Time slows down. It's where full joy is. Actually, a lot of people think that flow is the purpose of life. When you're in a flow state, you're at pure performance. You actually don't even have to think about it. Like, for example, if you're playing, like, I'm thinking about ping pong. Once you get into a flow state, you don't have to calculate every thought. You just are in total flow. And flow is where you have to be in high performance. It's where you be to, if you're a writer, to get into stream of consciousness. It's how you can just fully engage in what you're doing. Flow is what you should strive for, and there's one thing that you need to do to actually be in flow more often. And that is that you focus on just one outcome at a time. One outcome at a time. So in philosophy, there's a concept called teleology. And basically what teleology means is that every human action is to create an outcome. Every behavior. Right now, I'm behaving to create an outcome. That's to finish this video. Hopefully your outcome is to finish this video or whatever it is. The problem with most people is that they're trying to create too many outcomes at once. And so a first question you should have is, what's the outcome I'm actually trying to create right now? So for example, if you're at work, what's the outcome you're actually trying to create? And then focus on creating that outcome. If you can focus on creating that single outcome, you'll stay in flow. The moment you try to create two or more outcomes at a single time, you will be pulled in multiple different directions. And as a result, you won't be fully absorbed in what you're doing. So there's a lot of practicality in this. So let me give another example. Let's just say you're at home with your family. What's the one outcome you're trying to produce? It probably should be being fully engaged with and connecting with your family. But then what happens? A notification goes off, and the second you open that notification, you're trying to create another outcome. That outcome is to see what the notification is. That's behavior being driven by an outcome. And so every behavior is to create an outcome, and the more conscious you become, and also the more you want to get into a flow, the more you actually are just seeking to do one outcome at a time. So there's also a lot of research on flow as it relates to recovery. So there's a concept in psychology called psychological detachment from work. And what it means is that you will have a hard time fully engaging and getting absorbed in work if you don't fully disengage and fully recover regularly. And so what it means to disengage is to literally not just stop working, but to completely remove it from your mind. You have to actually completely unplug and let go of it so that when you plug back in, you can fully engage. A lot of research on psychological detachment from work. And so when you stop working and you recover and you're home, one way that you want to set yourself up is you want to design your environment so that it's easy to be in flow. And one of the things you would do is you would leave notifications away. Maybe keep your computer at the office, keep your work phone in your car. Make it easy to be in flow and not get pings and dings. If you're getting notifications regularly, you're not going to be in flow. Your phone should at least be on silent and probably in another room if you're going to want to be present and engaged with your loved ones. So that's the key to being in flow. Very easy. Accomplish one outcome at a time. When you wake up in the morning, what's the one outcome that if you accomplish will actually create more results than anything else? This is also living the 80-20 principle, because the 80-20 principle says that 80% of your results come from 20% of what you do. And so you got to ask yourself, what are the few things that I do that create the biggest outcome? There's also a book by Brian Tracy, which I highly recommend. It's called Eat the Frog. And one of the things that he got that quote from Mark Twain. Mark Twain basically said, if you eat a frog first thing in the morning, it will be the hardest thing you'll do. And then everything else will be easy after that. The idea of eat the frog is, what's the thing that you do first thing in the morning that's the most important thing you could do? And if you accomplish that, you've clearly done the most important thing, and everything else on top of that's just cherry. If you can wake up and know what that frog is, what's the most important thing, that one thing that creates 80% or more of your results, and you focus on that. And if you can live in a flow state where every morning you're getting about 60 to 90 minutes of flow focused on that frog, this is what Stephen Covey would call the important. You focus on the important before the urgent. Most people, when they wake up, they're only focused on urgent things. What if you woke up and focused on something that was important? You ate that frog, and you spent 60 to 90 minutes in flow just getting one outcome. You're not going to be in flow if you've got 10 to-do lists on your day. You actually want 1 to 2 max. What's the 1 to 2 things that you would do that would create 80% of your results, and then delete the other 8 off your to-do list? If you've got 10 things on your to-do list, you're not going to get much flow because you're trying to create 10 outcomes. What's the one thing that if you did, the one outcome, it would change everything? And then when you're home, what's the one outcome that you're actually trying to create? And then design your life so that you can actually recover and not get notifications that pull you from flow and from the most important people in your life. That is how you create a lot of flow. Create one outcome at a time. And also from an eat the frog perspective, finish that thing. Like for me, for example, only one outcome, finish this video, but you got to finish it. So what's the thing that you need to finish tomorrow morning so that you can have more flow? And then recover and go home and remove the obstacles from your environment. Be in flow at work, be at flow at home. The more you get better at this, the more flow you'll have. I'm Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Subscribe, have an amazing day, get in flow, create only one outcome at a time, and remove any obstacles that are going to pull you from that one outcome.